This is DW News live from Berlin. We have breaking news here in the German capital. A truck has plowed into a crowd of people at a Christmas market. One person is reported dead. Police calling it a probable terror attack. Images from the market just coming in now. A truck plowing into crowds at the fair near the Kurfürstendamm shopping street in West Berlin. Police sources say one person is dead. We'll bring you the latest as it comes in. The news starts now. I'm Brent Goff. It's good to have you with us. We start with breaking news from here in Berlin, where police say at least one person is dead in an apparent attack on a busy Christmas market. Now, many others are reported injured at the market, being held at the foot of the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church. Now, that is in the heart of Western Berlin. The driver, we are told, who drove a truck into a crowd of people, reportedly has fled the scene. As we said right there, those are the first pictures that are coming in. We want to go now to our correspondent, Melinda Crane. She is on the story for us tonight here in Berlin. Melinda, what more can you tell us?
Not a lot at this point, but the reports are still coming in. As you said, we know that one person is dead. A number of people are said to have been injured. It seems that there is video material showing victims lying on the ground and showing destroyed booths there at that Christmas fair. This is in the very heart of Berlin, this particular fair. It is in an open square, as most Christmas markets are. Nonetheless, security had been high, had been raised actually last year in 2015 following the attacks in Paris, and had been kept at a very high level into this year as well. But as we remember from last summer, from the attack in Nice, in which a truck also rammed crowds of pedestrians, a truck can do a great deal of damage if, in fact, this was an intentional terrorist attack. We do not have full confirmation of that at this time.
And Melinda, the first thing that comes to mind is a similar situation that we reported on in France. You remember that when there was a truck that was driven into a crowd of people in Nice, correct?
Yes, that's what I just mentioned. In fact, that occurred on the 15th of July last year, as people were, on the 14th of July, as people were watching the French Bastille Day celebrations there in Nice. Many thousands of people there on the main boulevard next to the ocean. And as you know, a truck rammed into that crowd and killed 84 people. So, of course, that is the first thing that comes to mind here. But as I say, we do not have full confirmation of all of the facts surrounding this attack in Berlin. So at this point, to draw those kind of parallels does still amount to speculation.
And we're getting more reports, Melinda, now, some saying multiple deaths in this, and at least 50 people injured. That is what we're seeing here coming across. AFP reporting at least 50 people injured, multiple deaths. Are we likely
I cannot confirm any figures at this time, apart from the one person who is who has been confirmed to have been killed. But how many are wounded? I have not seen further confirmation. That's one source. It's possible, but I can't confirm that.
Okay, we can't confirm that. And Melinda, you said the security has been very high here, going into the Christmas market season. Police have been on extra guard. What's the process now? Do we know what the process is? I mean, certainly there have been drills for something like this. What can we expect now from the authorities?
The vulnerability of Christmas markets has been a topic here in Germany for years. It is always a topic that comes up at this time of year. These are beloved gathering places, and interestingly enough, last week I was myself at one such market and thought, gosh, still huge crowds here. Clearly people are not letting themselves be deterred by these kind of fears. And several mayors in Germany said in the past few weeks, look, people shouldn't be deterred because if they are, they're essentially giving the terrorists exactly what they want. So what kind of security precautions are being taken? Well, you see a very strong police presence often near these squares where the fairs are held. You often see bags being checked at controlled entry points into the fairs. Some fairs also have put in place metal detectors. In general, there is a very strong police presence in many public places in Germany during this Christmas season. Many people, of course, also traveling during this season. The Berlin Central train station, like many other central train stations throughout the country, also with very strong police presence and very heavily armed police, I might say. So all of those precautions, in effect, it has been a topic for weeks. It was a topic once again just a few days ago, 10 days ago, when a nail bomb was found in a German city, not at a Christmas market, but of course during this pre-Christmas season. And there was some question about, are our Christmas markets adequately protected? But as I said, these often take place in open squares. It's hard to control access there, and they are indeed very crowded places.
If you are just joining us, we have breaking news now coming out of the German capital, Berlin. Police saying a driver of a truck plowed into a crowd of people at a busy Christmas market in western Berlin near the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church. You're looking at live pictures of the scene right now. We understand that one person is confirmed dead. There are reports of many injured, up to 50 people injured. There are several reports that there may be more than one fatality, but we cannot confirm that. And we're trying to be very, very careful here with the information that's going out because it is so early in this. Melinda, so we understand the police, they've been talking about extra security. As you were saying, that there are metal detectors, for example. But the police have also been very honest with the German public here, particularly in December, that if you're going to continue with this tradition, which is so loved across the country, then you're going to have to deal with the reality that there is no absolute security.
Yes, indeed. And that is true not only at Christmas markets, but in general. There are no guarantees. We live in open societies, and we are often reminded by political leaders, but also by members of civil society, that if we treasure that freedom, then we must accept the fact that there cannot be a guarantee. And of course, there has been concern in Germany about potential terror attacks for quite some time now. There have been a number of foiled attacks here. As you'll remember, there was a string of lone wolf attacks this past summer by people who may or may not have had direct connections with IS, with the Islamic State. Some of them were known to have been in contact with others. General links via internet have been presumed. So we've had those incidents, and we've had other foiled attacks in the country. And again, the reminder again and again from police that there cannot be a guarantee. But in fact, we've seen excellent intelligence work upon many occasions in which German authorities also cooperated with counterparts in other countries. But as far as we know, there was no specific warning of this particular attack, though apparently, according to some German media this evening, there may have been general warnings or general concern in the last few weeks about attacks on Christmas markets. But I have not yet seen reports confirming any kind of warning about this particular incident.
Okay. We are getting reports, Melinda, now from one of our reporters on the scene that there may be 2 fatalities there and at least 50 injuries. That is coming in right now. We want to go now to our correspondent. We have a correspondent on the scene. Oliver Sallet is there in Western Berlin. Oliver, tell us, what more can you tell us?
Well, this is like unfolding at this very moment, and the situation is very tense. Of course, we don't have many informations right now. Apparently, there are 2 casualties, several injured, as you've mentioned. And I'm standing here in Western Berlin. This is a commercial area. Actually, you can see that maybe behind me in the back. Police has now closed this road here. This is a shopping area where people would go, and right now at this busy time of the year, very shortly before Christmas is here, so people would do their shoppings there and would buy presents. And also at this square there's a very famous little Christmas market at the so-called Breitscheidplatz that's been there for over 30 years, and you can imagine that tonight there were many people there having a drink, doing some shopping, having something to eat there when this truck crashed in the people.
Yeah, and you know, we've all been in that area where you are, and especially in December, the Christmas market is very crowded. Have you been able to talk with authorities at all, Oliver, and talk to them about the types of security measures that are already in place there?
Well, I mean, the police is now trying to keep people out because the person, the perpetrator that apparently drove this truck is still at large. So they're actually saying this is going to be quite a dangerous situation to be here, actually. So what they're doing is they're trying to keep people out right now. This is unfolding at this very moment, and they don't have a lot of information right now. So we have to be a bit more patient here and see what's happening.
Right. Yeah, and if you are joining us here on DW News, we've got breaking news coming out of Western Berlin tonight. An apparent, police are saying, an apparent terror attack on a Christmas market. You're looking at live pictures of the scene right now. There is one confirmed fatality. Police saying maybe up to 50 injured. The driver of the truck, we understand from police, fled the scene and is on the loose right now. Our correspondent, Oliver Sallet, who was on the scene there, telling us that the police are saying that that area remains a dangerous crime scene. They have, as you can see, trying to cordon off the area. Oliver, do we know exactly how many people, an estimate of how many people were in that vicinity when this truck plowed into the market?
I can only guess right now. I think those must have been several hundred people, but if you consider that 50 were injured, and we know that 2 people died so far, and we also know, and if we remember further attacks that happened earlier this year, and obviously it rings a bell if you think about Nice, what happened there when a truck drove into a big crowd of people, that eventually and after a while the number of casualties goes up and up. So what I'm pretty sure is that this is not, we're not at the end of the day today, and there might be even more people who died from this attack.
Yeah,
which we might find out later.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some reports coming in right now. The Wall Street Journal, for example, a colleague there saying that the death toll is rising, according to what police are telling him right now, saying that police are saying as many as 9 people could be dead. And that we're hearing from a colleague at the Wall Street Journal right now who is on the scene. So it's a situation in flux. If you're just joining us again, this is a breaking news situation. There has been an apparent, police are saying, a terror attack on a Christmas market in Western Berlin. We have confirmed 1 fatality. We have reports of 2 fatalities. Other reports saying that that number may be higher. We understand from police that up to 50 people have been injured. The driver of the truck that plowed into the crowd fled the scene. And Oliver Sallet is our reporter on the scene there now. Oliver, we can hear the police sirens behind you. Do we know how large that area is that's been cordoned off right now? I mean, you're a fair distance away from the Kaiser Wilhelm Church, which is at the center there, which has the Christmas market all around it, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. They locked the scene off in quite a distance, actually, here. So I would guess those are at least, say, 200 to 300 meters here. There's many police and ambulance cars coming in here. There's also scenes of people who are like trying to reach a nearby local train station, the so-called Bahnhof Zoo, and people just don't know where to go right now, and police can't even tell them either, because police doesn't even know where the other sides and entrances and exits are of this area right now. It remains under lockdown, that's for sure.
And Oliver, we just heard confirmed from the police that 9 people have died in this attack. That's just coming across from the Berlin police. So 9 people died. They are, as I understand, standing by the number of 50 people have been injured. A tragic Monday night here in the German capital. If you're just joining us right now, there has been, police are saying, an apparent attack on a Christmas market in Western Berlin. We understand now that 9 people have been killed. They died when a truck drove into a crowded scene. People out on a cold winter's night at a Christmas market, which is something that you would find all across the country. 9 people have died, 50 people have been injured. Oliver, what about safety there? We were talking with Melinda about that. There is no absolute safety. We understand that, but there has been the fear in the country, particularly this year, that something like this was bound to occur.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just think back what happened in summer. We had an attack in the city of Würzburg in a train where a young refugee attacked people with an axe. And we had another case in the city of Ansbach where a refugee as well, he was supposed to be detained back out of Germany, where he blew himself up at a summer festival. Now, there has been this fear all over the country, and many people were actually asking themselves, why did nothing happen so far at this point? Now we see how quickly things can change, and it's a very tense moment right now here as we speak, and police is still coming in, and the situation is still not clear here.